When you're mixing sound for a film and you have a scene where you have dialogue and music sitting behind it, one of the challenges there is that oftentimes the music ends up competing with the dialogue. And obviously you need both of them there. The music to convey the emotional feel, also the dialogue to convey the message or the story. So what do you do in those cases? One thing that I've learned about recently is something called EQ notching or scooping, which essentially just takes the music, scoops a little area out of the middle to make room for the dialogue so they play nicely together and they don't really compete. Let's take a look. If you are mixing the sound for a film, and in this case I've been doing a little bit of that here, I have a scene here that is sort of a romantic scene. We have some dialogue, we have some dialogue replacement, and we have some music, among other things. So one of the challenges, of course, is how do you mix the music and the dialogue so that they're not really competing with one another? Now, I'm not claiming to be an expert on this. I'm just talking about some things that kind of have helped me so far, and I hope they're helpful for you as well. So let me just play through a couple of seconds here of this film. This is a film that's in production right now, actually in post, I think. Mostly in post. Valdense Films is putting together a film called Conflictus, and this is a scene from that film. It's sort of a romantic scene, the man and woman talking, and we have the romantic music behind it that was composed for this piece.
Y ya cuando nos conocimos, te enterraba los pies en la arena. Tú te enojabas.
Okay, so you can see the music is really sort of competing with the dialogue there, and you're really kind of having to push a little bit to make sure you understand everything that's going on. We do have the subtitles here. I don't know if that's going to be in the final film or not, but being able to hear the dialogue would be really helpful. So that's one of the challenges. Now, one of the most kind of obvious and intuitive things to do is just pull back the volume or the gain or the fader on the music track, and we could do that. So for example here, let's pull it down by maybe 4.5 dB. Let's play it again and see how it does.
Y ya cuando nos conocimos, te enterraba los pies en la arena. Tú te enojabas.
Not bad. It's definitely better than it was before, but there's still a little bit of competition going on. And so here's something that could be helpful for you. This is not something I invented. This is something that mixing engineers for music production do all the time. I also heard Chris Fenwick over at the FCPX Grill. It's a podcast about Final Cut, and he also has a digital cinema cafe. He talks about this as well. It's a great little technique for improving the kind of the mix, overall mix, and still maintaining all the dialogue and being able to hear the dialogue, but also having the benefit of the music and the emotional feel that brings. So here, in our mixer, we have this one track here. This is the music track. We can insert different plugins here, and here I'm just using an EQ plugin. You can use the one that comes with Audition. I just happen to like this one that I have. It's a third-party app or a third-party plugin, and it is like pretty much any other equalizer, except it has a couple of features I really like. In any case, on the left-hand side are represented the bass sounds. On the right-hand side are represented the treble sounds. And so you can use these different points along the way to either emphasize or cut different frequencies. And what we're going to do in this case is that because dialogue, most of the energy for dialogue lives in the maybe 1 to 1.5 kilohertz range, we're just going to grab this one here, this point, and we're going to put it at about 1.5, and I'm going to pull back by 4 dB right here. Of course, you'll do this to taste, but in this particular case, let's just try that, play it again, and see how that sounds.
Y ya cuando nos conocimos, te enterraba los pies en la arena. Tú te enojabas.
So there you can see, we can actually now hear, we do have a Foley track here. On the Foley track, we do have some crickets chirping gently out in the background to kind of help, again, add the emotional feel that they're looking for here in this romantic scene. And you can now hear those again. So the dialogue is nice and clear now. The music is still there, still very present. But again, now you can hear the dialogue without straining. So that's a nice little trick that I hope you'll find helpful when you're doing mixing for your film projects. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave those down below. Make sure you get subscribed, and we'll get you more great videos on a weekly basis on how to improve your lighting and sound for video and film. Talk with you soon.